Hello you marvellous pack of bastards, and welcome to another nipple-tweakingly sexual episode of Techspert Weekly, the only weekly tech news show that's scared to go see its GP about that dodgy crotch rash in case it gets inappropriately excited during the examination. Again. My name's Timmy Cook and I'm guest presenting this episode because I'm rich as fuck and I can basically do whatever I want. Although frankly this whole internet news thing's a bit beneath a man of my financial stature. I should be doing primetime telly, getting interviewed by that hilarious Corden fella, not wasting my time with this shower of arse juice. Now where's that bald twat gone to, eh? Ah, f*** it, just roll the jingle. Techspert Weekly! So hey, guess what? Some more budget smartphones have been launching this week. And oh Christ, I think my heart just exploded in my chest from the sheer shock of it all. First up, the global version of the Realme 8 5G was whipped out to much delight and gnashing of teeth. This shiny shithouse sports MediaTek's Dimensity-700 chipset to add that 5G support, and there is a bumload of other differences compared with the vanilla Realme 8. For instance, the 6.4-inch OLED screen has been replaced with a 6.5-inch IPS panel, although the refresh rate has at least been boosted from 60 to 90 Hz, while that ultra-wide-angle camera lens has been culled from the arse, which to be fair is no great loss because it was a bit poo. The Realme 8 5G is scheduled to launch here in the UK sometime in May, although just to further complicate matters, the blighty version may be slightly different in terms of the specs compared with the global model. So I really can't wait to mix all that shit up and then get called a raging testicle fondler in the comments. Also this week, Hong Kong-based smartphone company Infinix launched a couple of new blowers, the Infinix Hot 10S and the Hot 10S NFC, the second of which I've already unboxed and had a bit of a fondle of here on TechSpert. These super budget blowers cost around $120 or just under 100 quid, but they sport some very respectable specs, and they're also absolutely buggering huge at 6.82 inches. Not that I struggle to wield something that big, of course. Just ask your dad. Apparently that shimmering plastic surface is inspired by the Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia, and that's right, I'm talking about the world's largest salt flat stretching over 10,000 square kilometers, which I totally did not Google at all. I just fucking knew that in my brain because I'm smart. You just can't handle all this knowledge up in here. Oh, where'd I put that fucking scotch? The Hot 10S is powered by the Helio G85 from MediaTek, so you can get gaming on simple fare like Call of Duty Mobile on medium detail settings and not entirely suck at it. The standard version has a 6000 mAh battery, and this here NFC model has a 5000 mAh cell, while both sport a 48 megapixel primary shooter. Hey, I've got an idea, why not go check out my awesome hands-on video? I mean, after you've watched every second of this pile of bollocks, obviously. This week, those Apple geezers also launched some crazy new expensive models of stuff that you've already got lying about the place, but now they come in spangly colours like purple and orange. So if you're 8 years old, then you'll probably be really thrilled about all that. Only joking, kiddies. I love a nice bright colour as much as the next emo kid, because the more jolly my stuff looks, the less I feel I have to try and impress other human beings by actually having a personality of my own. I can just spout whatever the I want in a happy, jolly voice, and people assume that I'm a spirited soul rather than an alcoholic sack of spite and bitterness. First up was the new iMac, which, you guessed it, comes in that rainbow selection of hues, and if Apple had gifted these fresh models with lungs, they'd be screaming at the top of them for you to love me, please God, just adore me. Which maybe I would do if they didn't have that ugly white bezel and the weak pastel shades up front. Frankly, they look a lot better around the arse end, so maybe just turn them around so they face the wall and work that way. And as an added bonus, it means you don't actually have to use them and get all infuriated with macOS. Still, they sure are impressively slender, and they do come with Apple's M1 chips stuffed inside, so I can't wait for Final Cut to shit its pants whenever I try and edit some fucking video on it. It just fucking works! Linus said it was great, so I'm clearly just imagining this endless buffering as I'd struggle to work with a single 4K stream. Stupid me. Tim Cook also took some time out from swimming in his Scrooge McDuck vault of money to reveal the latest iPad Pro. This comes in 11 and 12.6 inch flavours, with the bigger model sporting an upgraded mini LED screen, while both versions once again rock an M1 chip, as well as a 5G modem and a Thunderbolt port. Of course, unless you're actually a coke baron or you run an orphanage designed to harvest the organs of homeless whippersnappers, then the chances are you won't actually be able to afford any of this shit. But no worries, you can always buy yourself an Apple AirTag. They're only $29 and they've still got that Apple logo on them. Maybe you can cuddle it at night and feel like you belong. And oh, listen, there's a few more shiny coins tinkling their way into Timmy's vault. So yeah, there's that. I guess that's sort of kind of the news for the week, so regrettably that means it's time for the part of the show that would even make a pile of puke vomit up its own guts if that were physically possible. It's viewer comments. Wah, wah. Viewer comments. First up, How Not to Advertise 69 says, how drunk did you get this week? Well, on a scale of Oliver Reed to Shane McGowan, I was probably about a Tara Reid. John Trimmer says, my Echo Show did the same thing with a random 125-hour countdown. It did freak me out a bit, so I just unplugged it. Thanks to your valuable research, I shall plug the little f***er back in now. Yes, so very random. I'm glad it wasn't just me who's had this weird little countdown to doom. Not really sure what that was all about. Hoping it wasn't just like a dry run by Alexa to see how we'd all react to a sudden unexpected countdown to our own demise. Flav's Interiors says, my wife said that you have very sharp canines and that it means you're a lion in the zodiac sign. I couldn't give less of a fuck, but could you please tell us in the next episode? Yeah, your wife's correct. I am actually a Leo. So that's slightly perturbing. I just thought the zodiac bollocks was exactly that, just a load of bollocks. How the hell does the time of the year that you're conceived have any influence over your That's just fucking weird, man. That's just so terrifying. Does this mean that I should actually be paying attention to my horoscopes then? Does Mystic Meg not just spouting a whole load of shit? Okay, I'm looking at my horoscope for the day. See what's in store for me. Ooh, apparently my career is headed for big changes. Does that mean I actually have to get a real job then? I hope not. All you have to do is lean into the opportunities. Magnetic Venus spends the day alongside revolutionary Uranus, prompting sudden revelations that concern your destiny. I mean, it's so fucking vague, isn't it? But the teeth thing, that's definitely freaks me out a bit. Anyway, moving swiftly on, Dante Jr. Salvador says, I don't understand why you don't have at least 1 million subscribers. I mean, what else are people actually watching? That's very kind, sir, although frankly, I'm bewildered that even this many people are watching this shower of shit every week. As for what are people actually watching, well, mostly absolute trash based on Netflix's top 10 list. One of the biggest movies on Netflix at the moment here in the UK is apparently Anti-Life, which I've never even heard of before, but it basically looks like Bruce Willis does Aliens. The only positive thing I can say is that the title seems stunningly accurate. It really has put me off the idea of living entirely. And next up, Jim says, the missus must have left you or must be extremely jealous due to that sock and Vaseline obsession. Tell you what, mate, should have invested in Vaseline stocks back at the start of the pandemic. Bollocks to Tesla and all the rest of it. My local Boots is always friggin' sold out. Clearly everyone's been buying up that as well as bog roll and all the usual stuff. Next up, Neil says you should do an unboxing of a drag outfit and put it on. To which Joe Public has responded, what an oddly specific request. I mean, I've got to admit, I'm not really sure how me dressing up as a lady has got anything to do with tech in general, although the idea of slapping on a wig with long flowing locks definitely has its appeal. Next up, Danger, or Danger? Danger? I'm not sure how to say that, sorry. Says, I see you're sticking with 888 instead of calling it 888 like all the other YouTubers. As in Snapdragon 888. Is that what they're... I honestly didn't know that was the thing. Although, to be fair, I've never really been one to conform to YouTube standards. You know, I don't stick half a dozen exclamation points at the end of my titles. And I've never posed like this on a thumbnail. Jedi Polar Bear says, any news on the Xperia L5? I have a lot of love for that series. Absolutely bugger all. Yeah, no, I was expecting to hear about the L5 instead of the Xperia 5 Mark III. And Sony's big launch. So I don't know if that means that's an end of the L series entirely, that Sony's just going to be concentrating on the mid to upper tier instead. Would be kind of a shame. I guess it was always kind of the odd one out in that it didn't fit the naming convention, although I guess maybe Sony could launch an Xperia 15 or 20 or something, I don't know. Kath Evans says, I like Marcus and Chris, both very different, but clearly the pair of them love tech. And that's what matters here. Yeah, definitely a sucker for a shiny gadget, and agreed, I think, yeah, we're both about as disparate as tech reviewers could possibly be. But one day, I'll have that big ass studio and all my minions who do all my work for me, so I just have to sit there on a sofa and talk at a camera for 20 minutes a day. Then I can spend the rest of my time finally truly indulging in my other hobbies of drinking and masturbation. Social DRG says, my mum prefers a rubber fist compared to what? But I mean, who doesn't? Rockass says, we're waiting for those 2021 Sony Xperia reviews. I could not wait for the 10 Mark III, so I had to go with the 5 Mark II, which was a great decision. Agreed. I absolutely still love the balls off of that smartphone. Fantastic. And yeah, if you got a good deal on it, brilliant stuff. Next up, I've got no idea how to say this. Juvenile RP? I'll tell you what, I'll just kind of put it up there on the screen if I remember to in my edit, depending on how much scotch I've drunk by then. I'd like a technical review of the best wank sock in the market. Mine is old and I would like to get a new replacement one. PS, budget is not an issue. I'd like a flagship wank sock. I'm kind of perturbed by the idea of budget wank socks, I've got to say. It'll probably come with a big sticker, warning, may cause static build-up and set fire to your pubes. Now, you want like a nice velvety one, wouldn't you? Yeah, pure luxury. That's the way to go. Marshall Forces says, which phone would you recommend given that my only priority is the best bang for the buck for filmmaking? My budget is around 250 quid. Is the old Pocophone F1 still the best option in that range? I mean, to be honest, I'll throw out a bit of a random one here. I'm still a massive fan of the video chops on the Nokia 8.35G, which I believe you can get for around sort of 300-ish quid now, so slightly above your budget, but that one shoots gorgeous looking 21:9 video. You've got a cinema pro mode type thing, similar to Sony's flagship smartphones with, you know, various filters and all the rest. And that's puffed out some really good looking results, nice audio pickup and all that as well with the Ozo audio. So yeah, definitely check that out if you're, you know, dead set on using your phone to shoot a lot of good looking video. You've actually got the editing suites on there as well, so you can edit on the fly if you need to. Next up, Lucas says, I would totally join your OnlyFans. I don't know what that is, but thanks. Okay, so it looks like kind of a Patreon type thing where you like subscribe or whatever, pay a little bit each month and then get access to exclusive content. I mean, to be honest, I've never been one for paywalls and stuff like that. I'm not even sure why people watch this bollocks for free, let alone for money. And to be honest, I'd much rather that people just spread the word, told their mates about the channel, and we can grow the Spartan army ever more. And oh piss, I've kind of got, it's getting really late, so I need to crack on. So final comment, Rango Django says, I've actually gone back to the iPhone 10, the only phone I know that doesn't heat up after 10 minutes of a gaming session. Uncle Spurt won't be happy. Don't worry mate, we don't judge here. Even the mighty Spartans are allowed to occasionally slip up and use an iPhone for a bit. It just means you'll appreciate Android all the more when you finally return to the good stuff. Wonder if anyone who's been watching this episode has cottoned on to the fact that I'm not a massive fan of Apple products. Anyway, a massive thank you to everyone who commented last week as well. It's great to read all your positivity and everything. It certainly does cheer me up, that's for sure. And please do bang your comments down below. I'll try to smash through as many of those as possible next week. And speaking of next week, check out the calendar. I've got a couple of bits going on, but they're under embargo, so I'm not sure I can really chat about them just yet. But a couple more big launches incoming. I'm hoping to get the new Oppo A54 5G in for review as well. And as usual, please do join me here Friday at noon, BST or GMT, BST, there's so many different T's, for another round of this pile of wank. Have yourselves a fan-bloody-tastic weekend, everyone, and thanks again for watching. Cheers, everyone. Love you.